Golf Mike.
There's a Whiskey 9 Romeo Golf Mike. Is that a Roger?
Romeo Golf Mike, is that a Roger?
Yeah, that's a Roger. Whiskey 9 Romeo Golf Mike. Name is Ron here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Over to you, Jim.
Roger. Ron, 73 this afternoon. What radio are you running, sir?
Good afternoon. What radio are you running, sir?
Well, I'm actually running an old Kenwood 570. It's probably almost 30 years old, but still works beautifully. We have a 440 backup, but I hardly ever use it, Jim. By the way, if Pat is still listening, we were copying him here perfectly when he was running 10 watts. No problem at all. It got better, with more power, but we were copying him Q5 all the way when he was running his 10 watts. So that's working fine. And Jim, you're in the plus area over 9 somewhere. I'll have to look a little bit closer. Back to you.
Roger, Ron. Your radio really sounds nice. Again, the EQ curve is nice and bright, very understandable, and you look to be about a 3 dB dynamic range, which is right on target. So I think you'll like your recording, Roger.
I think you'll like your recording, Roger.
Yeah, Roger on that. We're using the same KFEF web SDR. I used that for years and I always thought it was the best of the bunch. But the problem is in the last 3 or 4 weeks now, there's been no audio. I know it has to do with my system. I'm still on an old Windows 7 laptop, but I've noticed that the audio, the wavefall is still working fine, but there's just no audio coming through at all. So I've noticed some of the other web SDRs, you have to hit a special button now to receive the audio, but there is no such designation on the KFEF web SDR in Pennsylvania. So I missed that. I'm sorry that my system just isn't working with it any longer, and I think that was to be expected, maybe because of my old Windows 7. So any comments on that, Jim? KC9VKV W9RGM.
Roger, Ron. I haven't noticed any difference. Like I say, we run 4 Internet SDR receivers. I use Amazon Fire tablets, 4 Fire tablets for my receivers, and take the audio out into a 6-position rotary switch. So I can just zing, and also my local audio from my local receivers on that rotary switch. So I can just zoom through those, those positions in about a second, and listen to those 4 SDRs on my local receivers, find out which one is hottest. I haven't noticed any difference in the operation. There is a chevron on the SDRs. There's 3 of them that I know. One is marked AGC, one is marked audio, and the other's some kind of W6 something. I'm not sure what that is. But on the audio chevron, there is an audio output control that might have gotten turned down. So when you go to that SDR and you open that chevron up, punch up the audio part to bring up the audio chevron, and take a look at your volume control there and see if it might have gotten turned down. Roger?
See if it might have gotten turned down, Roger?
Yeah, okay, Jim, thank you. We'll check it, but I think it's worse than that. I think they're using some kind of new system, because I'm seeing the same thing on a similar website that uses the same what am I trying to say? The same setup, I guess, as the now there's another web SDR in Georgia, and that one works fine, but you do have to hit a special button that says audio here, press here for audio. And the one in Kensington apparently does not work anymore because that also uses the same format. That's the word I was looking for, as the one in Pennsylvania. But something they're doing is different, because I'm using the same. I've been listening to it for years, Jim. So I really don't know what they've changed, but it just is no longer compatible with the audio. The video part's fine. The waveform is there. Everything's rolling as expected. But is no audio coming through whatsoever. And when you go down to the computer audio, you see there is nothing in the system at all. The other websites are working just fine, but they've added a new button, like I said, a new icon that you have to click on to get audio. The Pennsylvania one does not have that icon, and maybe they're not even aware of the problem. I don't know. But yeah, I've been using it for a long time. It's my favorite web SDR, so I was very disappointed when that happened. But I have such an old computer, and like I said, Windows 7. I suppose I should expect trouble at this point, Jim. Well, thanks for listening to me, and you're sounding great out here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Jim. RGM.
Roger, Ron. Well, gosh, yeah, when in doubt, Google it. When in doubt, Google it. So you might Google the difficulties of receiving that SDR unit and see what comes up. Or, just make a general inquiry as to audio problems with Internet SDR receivers of late. It's amazing what Google knows. I've asked Google a 6-part question. It used to be you would just ask a 2-part question or maybe a 3, but I have actually been asking you the 6-part questions and amazingly getting good answers, Roger.
Amazingly getting good answers, Roger.
Yeah, I use it often, Jim. We usually never have a problem, so we'll look into it further, but I'm sure there's a reason for it somewhere, because like I say, the other ones are working, no change at all. So it's just the Pennsylvania one and the one in Kensington. I'm not sure what state that's in, but that's the other one I use. So, anyway, we'll continue to pursue it. So anyway, I'll let you get on with it, Jim. Thanks a lot for your time today. And you are just a little bit over S9, S9 plus 5, let's say. So excellent signal out here. I am running about 400 watts, Jim, to be honest with you, with an Ameritron 811, the old Kenwood transceiver. So there you go. KC9VKV-RGM.
Roger, Ron. We're running a Heathkit SB220 right at a kilowatt. So, it's one of those days. I usually run that as a net control. Somebody's got to have control over the net. And if you come up with 100 watts and try to control a net, you're going to be in trouble because conditions just normally are not that good. So anyway, Ron, like I say, we are recording. So if you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube, do a call in or search Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2200 Qso-Vlog aircheck recordings, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73, Ron, we'll catch you later. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.